A couple of years down the road, you are frustrated with showbiz.
Oh, okay.
So you had been, you were going to be at the helm of a Ernest reboot.
Are you fucking kidding me, Pat?
Yeah, you were gonna help, like you were gonna be like the main creative mind behind it, you know?
Look, this is a dream, okay? But we were just talking about Ernest off air and how you're gonna watch Ernest Saves Christmas with your nephew or whatever. And now you're
Right.
pulling that shit. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
and then
Mr. Ernest. I'm not gonna play Ernest, obviously. Uh, but
no.
I but I would be the creative visionary behind the Ernest universe reboot.
So it's like an
Barney
animate
verse.
it's an animated reboot.
Oh,
So
okay.
you actually would voice it.
No, I couldn't do that. I could do that. I could voice someone, but I could never possibly fill the vest of Jim Varney.
And that's the thing is you're not necessarily trying to be Jim Varney. You're Aaron Brooks, you know?
Yeah, but Jim Varney was Ernest, it was his
Right.
guy. It'd be like me doing Dorf. I can't do that.
And that's why you got the gig. You were in a an interview for the job, with the rights holders, and they were talking to you, and you were like, honestly, like I don't even. I took this meeting because I felt like I had to, but you kind of say what you just said, like this is Jim Varney's thing, and I can't possibly be earnest, and they like looked at you and they were like, that's exactly why you've got the gig, Aaron, because you care about the property.
But I wouldn't want to be Ernest. I'll be somebody else, but I wouldn't want to voice Ernest. Somebody's got to do an Ernest impression that's like somewhat faithful. It's
Yeah.
animated, so you got a little more wiggle room than if it were live action. But yeah, I I'm flattered. I would not want to be Ernest.
You say that to them and they're like, we'll see. So you're working on it, you're working on the pilot, and you're trying to find somebody else to cover the Ernest role, but it's kind of, slim pickings out there these days.
What? An iconic character like Ernest P. Worrell would have dozens of like high quality, impersonators or
Right.
the actors who could do the voice. There's voice actors who could do that shit.
So this is a few years down the road. This is a few years after um, what's known as the voiceover massacre of
What the
2025.
fuck, Pat? Jesus Christ.
There was a serial killer who specifically targeted successful voice actors and murdered them. And it's because, when they finally caught the guy, they found out that it was because he, was beaten by his dad growing up, and his dad happened to be a voiceover actor. And so this is like, you know, his sick revenge or something.
That sucks because there's like some good voice actors out there.
A lot of them got killed. It was a very bloody summer. The guy who who
Dan
the guy
Castellaneta,
the
Tom
guy who
Kenny.
was who was able to like finally solve the case, like he was the one who tipped off the cops or whatever, was this guy. When they asked him how they knew it was him, he was just like, he kind of just like his eyes were kind of glazed over, and he was like, all he only said like two words: Pickle Clan.
What the fuck?
And people are like, what the fuck does that mean? Like the guy's like clearly kind of, even the guy who turned him in is even a little bit off, I guess. But
You think
anyway,
of Billy
so
West?
Aaron, I have horrible news for you.
Oh, come on, Billy West.
Yeah, they poisoned him
That
and his
sucks.
head exploded.
Jesus. R.I.P.
Yeah. Ironically enough, some of them were killed by this guy by dropping anvils on their heads.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So he's
And
killing
he
them in
would,
cartoon fashion.
yeah, and he would like cut the brakes so the car would like go off like the ledge, and for a second they would just keep like moving because they didn't realize that they, weren't on the road anymore, and they just sink down immediately.
Cartoon physics comes into play.
So anyway, the point is that you were working on this, and you kind of poured your heart and your very soul into it.
Okay. Is it good?
It's fucking great, Aaron. The
What's the
pilot,
show called? I would
it's
probably call it, you know what I mean?
you call it what?
Know what I mean?
Sure, if that's what you want to call it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
So
call it.
it's the pilot for Know What I Mean, written by Aaron Brooks, and it manages to be. It's not faithful to the original in the sense that it's constantly mentioning that stuff. It's faithful to the spirit of Ernest and his series of adventures. So
Yeah.
while it's not, I mean, there's one or two, of course, winks and nods and stuff like that.
Sure, sure.
But for the most part, you kind of want to take Ernest into the 21st century, and you do that. And then they end up going in a different direction. It's
Okay.
it's it's been rebooted to it's now called it has it's the main character is played by what's that dude's name, that older Danny something Mexican gentleman.
Trejo?
Danny Trejo, yeah.
Danny
It's called
Trejo?
it's called Ernesto.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little different spin.
And they so they rebooted it. It's now called Vamanos Ernesto. So you're a little annoyed because you put in so much work to this, and I mean, they obviously they go with a different, script and stuff, so they don't even use your stuff. So you're kind of annoyed. Luckily, you got paid and stuff while you're doing it, but you've had this happen a few times over the years where like you'll have, these scripts bought and they're just never made. And yeah, you're able to save a little bit of money, but still, it gets frustrating after a while.
I imagine it would.
That's why you have embarked on your new career in entertainment, morning radio.
Oh man, this was almost me
Yeah,
a long time ago.
you kind of had this choice when you were younger about whether to pursue a career in radio or pursue a career in stand-up comedy. And now you feel like you're getting that choice again. And
Okay.
you're like, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try this." The regular morning DJ Jason Light is going on vacation, and they're like, they needed a sub, and you got recommended.
It's been years since I've been behind a board, you know. The game's changed, I bet. It's probably all automated now. More
Yeah,
even more so than it was back then.
there is a bit of that. At first, when you first sign on, it's a bit more, but as you kind of, prove yourself as, being a reliable radio performer, they start to kind of give you a little bit of leeway. So now at this point in your career, you're going live. There's no pre-recorded stuff unless you're pre-record, like you're playing a funny pre-recorded moment that happened earlier or something like that. It's always going to be live. You take phone calls, stuff like that. Um, the name of your show is Hot Beans in the Morning.
God damn it, Pat. God damn it.
So you're doing Hot Beans in the Morning, and you are broadcasting out of WLANALAX
Doesn't make any
98
fucking sense.
98.4. This the only station that really rocks.
Oh, so it's a station for a rock guy.
It's a rock guy's music station for sure. In the morning, you don't like you don't play music in the morning, really. You can if you want to, like if there's a song you like, you can play it, or if you're like, oh, whenever you have to take a dump, you just have them play Stairway to Heaven, and then you like run to the bathroom, and it becomes like an in joke on the show, where people are like, "Hey, have you ever noticed that like sometimes out of nowhere they'll just play Stairway to Heaven and they won't address it when they come back? Like, what's up with that?" Eventually, like it happens so many times that the real, the real the super fans they call themselves Beansies. The real Beansies, they notice stuff like that and they're like, oh, yeah, that is kind of strange. And, eventually the truth comes out that that's what's going on. And so it's not like a well known thing among the fans necessarily, but the hardcores, the P1s, those are the guys who know that every time they hear Stairway to Heaven, they're like, oh, Aaron's taking a dump. But,
All right.
you enjoy. But the show is it's talk radio, and then for the rest of once you're done, the rest of the schedule, the rest of the day is all rock. And
Okay. What kind of
you
what
know,
kind of rock or what era are we talking?
really, I mean, as long as it's rock, you're gonna play it.
Okay.
So you will sometimes go, you for the most part keep it contemporary, but playing modern rock as the only station that really rocks. And you sometimes will go to the past. Sometimes you'll play like you will do a thing called Flashback Friday, where you play rock from a bygone era. So you play like Chuck Berry, Roll Over Beethoven, stuff like that.
My dingling.
My Dingaling for sure. So base and also so what it'll do is it starts off on Monday playing super well known contemporary stuff, and then as the days go on the music choices become more kind of like esoteric or like kind of obscure, so if by Thursday it's just straight up outsider art, you know what I mean?
Okay, so it gets progressively more uh unexpected
Yeah,
throughout the week. Okay.
yeah, because the way you look at it is you're the way they look at me, you don't program it, but they're basically like, we're the only station that really rocks. So we're going to explore all of rock. We're not just going to stay focused on, classic rock, whatever that even means these days.
Yeah, really.
Lately, though, you guys have kind of had a bit of a bit of an issue with another local radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah, 96.7, the dub.
The dub?
Yeah, DUB.
The fuck is their deal? The
Um,
dub.
so the dub, their whole thing is that they kind of, their music doesn't change as the week goes on or anything like that. Or they also don't do Flashback Friday, but they do modern rock basically. The dub, their whole thing is they have this new like tag they do where they're like the dub where real rock lives,
Those motherfuckers.
and you are furious.
When's the last time they played anything like pre-grunge? Like glam, hair metal, and back.
Sure. You say that right before you start and you go anyway because it's Thursday, which is like the most like, thing. You're like anyway, here's Jenny by the Sonics. You just play this like proto rock and roll, this like proto punk music rather. People are just fucking loving it. So you the first time you hear, you're playing your tunes and you hear that they were doing that, like you were sitting there and you like put the music up and you're like, yeah, we're rock, the only station that really rocks. WLANALAX, Aaron Brooks. Um, you like, fade the music down, so you're not like you can't hear in your headphones or whatever, and you're like, hell yeah, another successful break or whatever. And you look up and the your producer, uh his name is Riley Cunningham. But you guys just call him you call him Big Red. Because he's 7'3" and he has like a just like a huge like afro of like red hair.
Jesus. Interesting looking fella.
He is, and he's constantly and like part of the running joke on the show, and it's exaggerated, but there is some truth to it. He's kind of like a klutz, and he kind of like due to his size and these notoriously cramped radio stations, he like knocks things over and shit like that.
A bull in a china shop.
When he got married, he was it time for him to put the ring on her finger, and he accidentally like crushed the ring, like he was so nervous.
Strong enough to crush a ring with his bare hands.
And then and he kind of like freezes, and the priest looked out to the crowd and he goes, "That's Big Red," and the whole crowd cheered.
It sucks. Big Red
So
sucks.
so Big Red is in the next room, and he's just like looking at you, and he has like his face is like a grave, and you kind of go like, "What?" Like with your hands, you kind of like make the universal "what" uh
Yeah.
shrug, and he like holds up the ad for the dub, and it says "Where Real Rock Lives," and you just like look at that, and steam literally comes off the top of your
It
head. That's
doesn't.
how
It doesn't come off.
that's how
Where
angry that you get at the dub.
real rock lives.
Yeah. It's called the dub because it's owned by this guy named Wilbur Winston
Oh Lord.
Washington. And so, triple W's, and so the dub, you know what I mean? That's like the thing.
Yeah.
That's like the lore at least.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad to know.
So you're in the middle of a heated ratings war
Yeah.
between WLANALAX and the dub. And it is like going back and forth. They have like a morning radio show as well. They have to play music, but they so it's not all talk radio, but it's about 50-50. It's this guy, he does like a shock jock routine kind of thing, you know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Uh his name is his name is Penis. That's his like DJ name. He just goes by
Penis.
he just goes by Penis, yeah.
That
Uh
sucks.
because his name is Paddington, and his last name is Nussgrove. And so he goes like P dot Nuss. That's like his way around it. So, but everyone just calls him Penis. And so he's like the shock jock, and he has like a whole crew of like you know jerks
Yeah.
on, on there. And so like his thing is he's just gonna talk shit about your radio station.
This guy fucking sucks.
He's like, yeah, this is Big Penis in the morning. Here we are on
Big
the
penis
dub.
in the morning.
Here
That's what
we
the name
are.
of his show is called.
Well,
Big
he
penis in the
calls it.
morning.
He calls himself that sometimes. Like, it'd be like if you call yourself Big Aaron Brooks. It's like the same
Yeah,
thing.
but I don't do that. And I wouldn't do that if my name was penis.
I'm not saying you are
You
doing it,
you
and I'm not
said
saying you would. I'm just saying that it's as if
you
Big
said
Penis in the
big
morning.
this is big penis in the morning. That's the name of his fucking show.
Yeah. He's like, we're gonna
Wow.
kick things off with our patented um prank phone calls. And so he does these prank phone calls where, prank phone calls aren't allowed on the air anymore. It's illegal. So they're clearly these like fictionalized things, these recordings that they play, and it's like the actors are like so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds pretty fucking terrible.
So one of the prank phone calls that isn't real is penis calls just calls this like number at random, and it's like this woman, and she's like, "Hello," like answers the phone, and he's like, "Hey, lady, this is the FBI. Your son's dead." And like, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And then he's like, "Just kidding. This is Big Penis in the morning." And she's like, "Oh my God, I love your show." And he's like,
I love
"Yeah."
big penis in the morning.
She's like, "I thought, my son was dead." And he's like, "Nah, we're just." And he goes, "We're just joshing." It's part of his segment called "Just Joshing."
Oh no, just Josh and man, people in Austin are gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah, he goes, "I'm just joshing." And he goes, "I'm just joshing your poshin." He just be like, he just says nonsense words like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
AKA just J and your P.
That sucks even worse.
One of
Somehow
them,
it's worse.
one of them is they do a segment where they take clips from your show and act as if that's you answering the phone. So their prank phone call, it sounds like they're like, "All right, we're gonna call Aaron Brooks real quick," and it's like ring ring, and you're like, "Hello, line number one." That's like the drop that they play from your show, and
Yeah.
then he's like, "Hey, Aaron, this is Rick Springfield calling. How's it feel to know that Penis in the Morning has you beat 7 ways till Sunday?" And then it's a clip of you being like, "I pooed my pants," taken from like a story you were telling, and
Sure.
then they
Yeah,
just
they're
like
just
laugh and laugh. Yeah,
that sucks. They have like a
they,
soundboard for me.
yeah. Then they play a clip of you crying, and like that's how like they ended it. The clip of you crying is from an episode where you found out you found out that I was dead,
Oh man.
and you found it on the air, so you started like crying, and so like, but that's how they end the. That's how they end the phone call. Is you like weeping legit tears for your fallen friend?
Jesus Christ.
This is a few years down the road, of course. I died saving an orphanage. Anyway,
From what?
so fire.
Okay. You get them all out?
Every single one. But I died from inhaling too much smoke, I guess, and also burning.
Okay.
So
So
anyway,
you
but anyway, that's really neither here nor there. My heroic sacrifice is really doesn't have much to do with this. I'm just telling you what happens. So you were in this like radio war with these guys, and your whole thing is, you know what? Like these guys are like juvenile idiots. The only people who like this stuff are dumb. Like, who cares? I'm gonna take the high ground, and I'm gonna let my rock speak for me. And you do. You just focus on the job, but it tears you up inside when you see that they like beat you in ratings that week, which is starting to like happen a little more and more.
well, yeah, I mean they're resorting to prank phone calls and tomfoolery.
Yeah. You go home, one day, you're living in you're living in a like a large mansion.
What?
So it's the largest mansion that's ever been built in Los Angeles, but the person who owned it, like, lost it through, financial mistakes. And so it was bought out by a company, a realty company or whatever, and they turned it into a home, basically. And it's like sectioned off. There's like sectioned off into three main sections. And you live in section two. There's section one and there's section three.
Well, this mansion is broken up into three smaller homes.
Yeah, three livable spaces. And one of your roommates is they're both kind of eccentric, I guess you could say. Like
Yeah.
one of like yeah, one of them is this guy. Uh, uh, his name is Doctor Amazing. Well, his real name is Richard Amazing, and he's super into science. You don't really get what he does for a living. All you know is that like one time you had to go into section one where he lives um, to see if he had any AA batteries. And so you walked into his section, and as you walked in, you realized like I don't even know what this like guy does all day. And the deeper you get into section one, the more like high tech it
Why am
becomes
I just walking into this guy's home?
because you needed batteries.
I would text him first. I wouldn't just enter his home.
There's no reception where he lives
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not gonna just stroll into this guy's house. Why am I living here?
because
This sounds awful.
you get a really good deal on it, and you're living in a mansion. You're
Yeah,
living in
with
a
like
mansion atop the hill.
it's
It's called the
separated into
it's
three
called the Hill of
places.
Roses.
This sucks.
The Hill of Roses is like, I mean, it's named for obvious reasons. So you, as you like go deeper into his living space, you see it becomes more high tech, like doors like choo, open like that. You know what I mean when you walk through, and you get into his laboratory, and he's like in there, and he kind of like Doctor Amazing looks up, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Aaron? Like, what can I do for you?" And you're like, "Do you have any AA batteries?" And he's like, "Ooh, no, sorry." And he's like, "What are you doing in here exactly?" And he kind of like laughs and he goes, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." And you do the thing where you turn a chair around like you're a cool substitute teacher and you sit down on it and you go, "Try me."
Oh, that sucks.
So Dr. Amazing goes on to explain to you that he, comes from a long line of basically like occult hunters where they search for supernatural beings to, destroy them. And but he's a little bit different from all the others that came before him because he uses technology to do it. Like he points to like there's like a gun on the wall, and he goes, "Yeah, that's called Chekhov's gun. I named it after the man who raised me, Alexander Chekhov."
So, Jesus Christ.
And it's basically a gun that is fine-tuned to kill any type of evil monster. So if you're fighting a werewolf, it's going to shoot silver bullets or like whatever, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
concentrated moonlight or some, or that wouldn't work, sunlight or something like that, shit like that. And you're like, whoa, that's pretty fucking cool. And he's like, isn't it? And he goes, anyway, talk soon. He gets back to his work and you're like, oh, whatever. So like you walk away and you kind of like, you're like, man, he has all this high tech stuff. And you're like, but there's no batteries. And
Makes no sense.
so you go to section three, and this guy who lives there, um, you've only met him one time, and I mean, they're both quiet neighbors, but like he's like really quiet.
I'm not
And
going in this man's house. I've only met him one time. I'm not going in there, Pat. I'll knock.
but you really need those
Yeah, I don't
AA
need batteries
batteries.
bad. I don't need them that bad. I would knock. I would try to contact. I'm not just walking into a stranger's home.
So what's kind of unique about this side of the mansion is that all the doors are just open. So you just kind of like stroll through. And the deeper
Not
into
doing
it,
that.
the more
Fucking kidding
like
me.
kind of I don't know really how else to explain this, like kind of gothic it gets, you know?
Yeah.
And there's like you've never been a fan of like goth techno music, but it's playing like softly in the background. Like you can hear it at all
Yeah.
times. And you're like, that's fucking weird. And you get a little bit deeper in and in the middle of the mansion, of his living space rather, of the living space of section three. And in this like chamber basically sits this guy. And the first time you met him, you thought you were going nuts because he looked and sounded just like the actor Nicolas Cage.
Oh no. No.
And he's wearing and as you see him, you're like, oh fuck, like yeah, he definitely looks just like this guy. Like that's crazy. I thought I made that up last time. And he has like a really badass like leather jacket on and like
God
really
damn it.
cool like leather, pants and stuff. And his name is Mick Free.
Mick Free. What a fucking pull.
And you're like, oh, and he's like, he's like, oh yeah, hey. And you're like, oh, do you have any double A batteries? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, they're right over there by the bees. There's like a picture of like, he has like a framed painting of like bees. And in the corner of this painting of bees, as you walk over to get the double A batteries, you see in the corner there's a painting of like kind of like a big fat like bumblebee, and you look at it and you see that it's like it's only eating it's eating from like a almost like a lake of like the soupiest
Oh God.
honey that you've ever seen in your fucking life. And you see it like, and you see it's just like its smile of contentment. It's like it's
The
the
big
only
fat happy bee.
a big fat happy bee. And you look at it and you pick up the double A batteries and you turn back and Mick Free is like standing like right behind you, like stealthily. You know what I mean? And
Jesus.
he's like, yeah, oh yeah, that's Soupy Joe.
Here he comes.
And you see he has like super sharp like teeth.
Soupy Joe?
No, no, no. This is
Oh,
Mick Free.
McFree.
No, no. Soupy Joe looks normal. And so, well, not normal, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he looks at you, and he's like, you haven't had any like garlic today, have you?
Oh God.
And you're
I go,
like,
man, I eat a lot of garlic.
and he's like, all right. He like disappears into the shadows. A second later, you see like a bat fly away.
Jesus Christ.
So you're
McFree
like,
sucks.
so you're like, all right, that's kind of strange, whatever. And you go back to section two where you live. You go to sleep and you dream. In your dream, you are in like complete darkness. And in the distance, you can see like coming towards you, like just a very small, like red dot. And as it gets closer, it like separates into like two dots. And as it gets close, you realize it's like the uh the red eyes of a fucking bat.
Yeah.
And you just hear it whisper, come to me at midnight. I'll help you win your radio war. Ha 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 ha.
I want no part of this at all.
You wake up. You get
McFree
your
is fucking lame.
you get,
He's fucking lame. I don't want his help.
you wake you wake up and you're like, huh. And you get your daily ratings rundown from Big Red. And man, your ratings have like gone off the fucking cliff this past week.
Well, If I get fired, I get fired.
You do your show, you come back.
I probably would play more music than normal, you know.
Yeah,
And I probably also, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I would address it
sure.
unless it gets brought up.
No, it doesn't. You make sure that the phone screener like screens those guys out. So you go home and watch TV or just kind of like hang out or whatever, and time just like flies by, and suddenly you hear like the fucking clock strike 12. And you look outside and it's the sky is the unmistakable hue of midnight, and you're like, holy shit. And you hear like you kind of hear like in the distance like, come to me, Aaron, I'll help save you.
No, I'm not doing it. Mick Free sucks. That guy sucks. I have a feeling he wants to suck my blood. I owe him two batteries. Like I'm trying to dodge this guy. I'm trying to avoid him at all costs.
So you go into you're like you don't really know what to do, so you go into your kitchen to get like a midnight snack, and Dr. Amazing is standing there, and he's like, hey, Aaron. And he's like, it's the damnedest thing. I have this it's called the spooky meter. And what it does is it tells me
I
if
want no
there's
part of it. I don't want any part of it.
he
Leave
goes
me
it
out of your fucking inventions.
he goes like it goes off if there's like a supernatural creature around. He goes, do you know anything about that, Aaron?
No, no. Yeah, our fucking roommate's a goddamn vampire. He's a
He goes
goddamn vampire.
he goes, what?
Yeah, yeah, he's a vampire. He has vampire teeth. I saw him fucking like he wanted to fucking know if I ate garlic. I saw him turn into a bat.
He goes, Mick Free. He goes, huh, that's crazy. He's like, do you ever get the feeling does that guy sound a lot like Nick Cage to you?
Yeah,
He
yeah, it
grabs
does.
his like that like super gun thing that he has that can kill anything. And he like looks at you and he goes, Aaron, I'm glad you brought this to my attention. Away goes Dr. Amazing. And he like
I don't
goes like,
like this at all.
ah, like runs into like section 3. And you kind of like sit there and you just kind of think to yourself, like, wow, what a crazy world I live in. You sit down with a big bowl of Lucky Charms and you're like, you know what? Tomorrow is another day. And look, if these guys think that they can muscle out our morning show, they're crazy. We're the only station that really rocks. You kind of like pump yourself up.
Yeah.
You pour the milk, and as like you finish, you look up, and standing in front of you is Doctor Amazing and Mick Free. Except Doctor Amazing's been turned into a vampire, and Mick Free goes,
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, looking for a midnight snack? Us too." And they just tear you apart.
God damn it. What the fuck?
There's not enough of you left to turn into a vampire. You just like genuinely are dead.
Great. Thank God. I wouldn't want to spend eternity with Mick Free.
The radio war is decisively won within a matter of weeks. Your station flips formats, and now they just play fucking surf rock.
Great. Who cares? I'm fucking dead. Ripped apart by two vampires at midnight.
Yeah, you never even got a chance. You never even got a bite of those fucking Lucky Charms. They were
Great.
just out of reach.
They're not good for you anyways.